thinking that people in their 30s are old, and I used to dread turning 30. Like, it used to be this like scary thing. I actually turned 30 and I realized, Uguti, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. I'm not as old as I thought that I would feel. I have never felt younger, to be quite honest. And I'm a tola teka, yes. I get tired after a flight of stairs, yes. I start yawning at 9 p.m, yes. But I still feel like I've never felt younger, and I'll tell you why. I honestly feel younger because now I know who I am. Like, I feel so in tune with myself. I know what I like, I know what I prefer, I know what makes me happy, I know what vibe I prefer, I know what style I like. Like, that confusion and uncertainty and unknowing that comes with being in your teens and in your 20s, it's gone. I know who I am. Like, it's so liberating getting older and aging and knowing yourself better. You don't have to do things just because that's what's trending right now, just because that's what everyone is doing. And I think it's easier to conform to those standards and to those things when you're younger. But when you're older, you kind of calculate it a little bit more, and you prioritize your peace and your happiness far more. And it actually saves you from so many things. It saves you from unnecessary encounters, unnecessary spending. That one is debatable. And we waste so much time in those discovery years, those late teens and early 20s, mixing in crowds that we really do not want to mix in, wearing things that we don't even like just because they're on trend, posting things we don't want to post. Like, there's just so much that we do for the sake of doing it. And the older that you get, the more assertive you are in yourself, and you realize what you actually really like and what you don't like, and you are okay with outwardly saying, good to know, this is not for me. For me, one of the things was groove. Like, I started disliking groove in my late 20s. I think I remember just being in a groove space, and it was so loud. The music was so loud. The lights were so bright. There were people everywhere. Like, nothing to me was exciting about being in that space. And I realized, I don't like this. I'm at a point where I really don't feel even like left out if people are doing things that I personally have no interest in. And even when they're doing things that I have interest in, the FOMO is not the same. Like, I feel like when you're younger, the FOMO hits so hard, and you would do almost anything to sort of get with the mix. And now that I'm older, it's like, if I didn't make it, I didn't make it. Peer pressure, unfortunately, is a corner, but it's different now. We have like different things that we khalela, like that we crave. We crave different experiences, we crave travel, we crave ownership, we crave, like purchasing your property and whatnot. The peer pressure is different. The peer pressure is better, but the peer pressure is definitely more expensive because when you're younger, you crave small things like I'm a Nike Air Force, that's 1,000 and some change. That's affordable. But now when you get peer pressure for home ownership, I mean, in South Africa, in this economy, it's insane, right? But I would rather have the kind of cravings that I have now than the ones that I had when I was younger, because the ones that I have now, they make sense. My biggest takeaway, or rather what I would say to my younger self, or even to anyone who's like still in their teens or 20s, not yet 30, start discovering who you really are now. Like, start discovering who you really are, because it's so easy, especially in the age that we're in of social media and being influenced and all of that. It's so easy to just live a life based on what's trending. It's so easy to live a life based on what other people are doing and not really explore who you really are, or what you really like, or what you really want to do with your life. I honestly feel like I discovered my true self way too late, and I'm happy that I eventually did, but I wish that I had started sooner to really be intentional about finding out who I am, what I like, what I want to do, because I probably might have been far ahead in my career and in other areas of my life. You cannot get time back. Once you've wasted it, you've wasted it. I know it's fun to do certain things, but not everything is beneficial, right? Not everything adds value. And yes, it's okay to have fun, and the term fun is relative, but if your fun is getting you into trouble, or your fun is making you waste precious time, study time, work time, family time, or your fun is making you shift your priorities, then that fun needs to be re-evaluated. And njoba manje sengimdala and sengumzali, I understand why our parents don't want us to do certain things, and I wish that some things I might have been more intentional about not doing as per my parents' request. But such is life, and we learn. But what I can say is, not every lesson you need to learn for yourself. Some lessons you can take from us, watching us, the mistakes that we made. Hence, I'm saying discover yourself now, so that you don't make the mistake that I did of wasting time doing things that don't align to the bigger goal. But bottom line is that life on the third floor is fun. I honestly am loving my 30s, also because I have those melanin genes where you can't really tell that I'm in my 30s. And I love that for us as Africans, that black don't crack. But yeah, life on the third floor is nice, you guys. There's still obviously challenges. Life will always have challenges. We are obviously also challenged by the fact that we want to make it in life, and it's not always easy to get to the point of feeling that you have made it. But minus the distractions, minus the pressure, minus the confusion, it's so much easier to focus on getting to that higher goal of living that soft, intentional life. Also, being in my 30s has drawn me closer to God. I wish that I had been as focused in my relationship with God from earlier. I've been a Christian all my life. I got saved at the age of like 12, if I'm not mistaken. But it's only now where I'm intentional about my relationship, and honestly, my life has completely changed. This is my last and most important point, young person. Take God seriously. Take your relationship with God seriously. If you are not saved, take up Jesus as your Lord and Savior and watch him direct your steps. He's a God of order. Like when he directs your steps, the likelihood that you would make these unnecessary mistakes is just so much less, like he brings so much order into one's life. He brings so much peace and direction, and I wish it for everyone. And if you have not, take Jesus as your Lord and your Savior. To anyone who's in their 30s and feeling like they are still confused, they still don't know what's gonna happen, ubabala uthi kuseza kanya, ay 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 ay, kuseza kanya, ay well. But also, why would you be mad about turning 30 when you can still look like this? Okay, it's in guys. Bye.